Mary's heart, from the cross to the glory. Come close, let me speak from the deepest place in my soul. I am Mary Magdalene, the one he loved with a love that never asked for anything but my whole heart. I was not worthy. He knew every shadow in me, every tear I had ever cried, and still he called me friend. Let me take you with me now, from the moment they tore him away to be crucified, until the morning he rose, and the day he lifted his hands and returned to the Father on the hill. This is not a tale I read in a book. This is a story my heart still lives every single day. It was still dark when they dragged him out of the house. My Jesus. My gentle, laughing, strong Jesus. His wrists bound like a criminal. I followed at a distance, my feet stumbling over stones, my chest on fire. No, 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 my heart kept whispering. But the soldiers pushed him forward, and the crowd shouted ugly things. I wanted to scream, "You don't know him! He healed your sick. He fed your children. He looked at you with love." But my voice was locked behind the ache in my throat. They took him up to the hill called Golgotha, the place of the skull. I stood as close as they would let me, right at the foot of that terrible cross. They hammered the nails. Each blow was like a knife in my own hands. Blood ran down his feet onto the ground where I knelt. His mother was beside me, trembling. John held us both up. Jesus looked down through the sweat and the blood, and he saw me. Even then, in his worst pain, his eyes were soft. "Mary," he whispered once, and that single word wrapped around my breaking heart like a warm blanket. How could love hurt this much? The sky turned black in the middle of the day. The earth shook. I thought the whole world was dying with him. When he cried out, "It is finished," something inside me tore open. My friend was gone. They took his body down, cold, heavy, and covered in wounds, and laid him in the stranger's tomb. I watched Joseph and Nicodemus wrap him in linen and roll the stone across the door. Then the Sabbath came, and I could not even go to him. I sat in the dark with his mother and the other women, rocking back and forth, whispering his name over and over like a prayer that had no answer. Sunday morning, before the sun was even thinking of rising, I took my spices and ran to the tomb. The stone was rolled away. My knees gave out. "They have taken my Lord," I sobbed to the men who came running. Peter and John looked inside, saw the empty cloths, and left. But I could not leave. I stayed, bent over, tears falling on the grass. "Where have you laid him?" I begged the air. Then a voice, soft, kind, the voice I would know if every star went dark. "Mary." I turned so fast I nearly fell. There he was, alive, standing, and smiling that crooked little smile he always gave me when I worried too much. His wounds were still there, but they shone like glory. I threw myself at his feet. "Rabbi," I cried. "Teacher, my teacher." I wanted to hold him forever and never let the world touch him again. But he said gently, "Do not cling to me. Go tell my brothers. I am going to my Father and your Father." I ran. Oh, how I ran. Through the streets, laughing and crying at the same time. "He's alive! He's alive!" The disciples thought I was mad with grief until they saw him too. Over the next days, he came and went like the wind, walking on the road to Emmaus, cooking fish on the shore, letting Thomas touch the scars. Every time he appeared, my heart would leap, like it was the first morning all over again. He was the same Jesus, eating, laughing, and teasing Peter. But now death had no hold on him. Love had won. And then came the last morning on the Mount of Olives. We stood together under olive trees, the same place where we had prayed so many nights. He looked at each of us, really looked, like he was memorizing our faces. His eyes rested longest on me. I felt every moment we had ever shared pass between us. The day he cast out my demons, the night I sat at his feet while he taught, the times I washed his feet with my tears and dried them with my hair, all of it was there in his grace. He lifted his hands to bless us. "You are my friends," he said, and his voice carried the same warmth it always had. "I am with you always." Then slowly, wonderfully, he began to rise. His feet left the ground. The clouds opened like welcoming arms. Higher and higher, my Jesus, my beloved, shining brighter than the sun, until he disappeared into heaven. I was weeping, but they were not tears of loss this time. They were tears of wonder. The ache was still there, but it was wrapped in joy so big it could not be contained. He is gone from my sight, yet he is closer than my own breath. My friend lives. My Savior reigns. Death could not keep him, and because of that, it cannot keep any of us who love him. So when your heart breaks, and it will, because love this deep always costs something, remember me standing at the empty tomb. Remember the voice that called my name in the dark, and remember the hands that rose into glory. He is risen. He is risen indeed. And I, Mary, will never stop telling the world what love can do.